Downtown Phoenix, Arizona, so far so good. A winning homestand for the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is game 2 of a 3-game series with the Colorado Rockies. Former Diamondback Carlos Gonzalez started to heat up with the Rockies. Justin Upton with a huge piece of hitting last night. Could you imagine those two in the same outfield together? My goodness, they are opposing players tonight. This is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. Welcome back to the ballpark. Glad to have you with us. Now, when you played, like Kirk Gibson, you too, when you guys played the game of baseball, what happened on a 3-0 count as a hitter?
Oh, as a young player, when I was 23 years of age, it was red light, not a chance of swinging 3-0.
All right, well, let's talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks, the current version of the Diamondbacks, and the way not only the Diamondbacks have been a part of the evolution, but how the game has evolved. 3-0 swings for the Diamondbacks since Kirk Gibson took over as manager. Nearly 15% of the time. You see the average time that it occurs, about 6% of the time, 15% of the time, twice league average, well above all of the other foes. Now, last night, Justin Upton, a 3-0 attack on the baseball. You are going to tell us the mindset of Upton and how he got it done.
Exactly. He gets to 3-0 by taking 3 breaking pitches from Paulino. Now, watch what happens. There's the release. He's looking for one pitch in one spot, and that is a fastball out over and about belt high. And look where this pitch goes. Fastball out over the plate, belt high. He lets it travel, and he absolutely destroys it to right field. He knows it. Everybody knows it. That ended up being a game winner for the Diamondbacks. Opposite field, 3-0 swing. I didn't think it would happen. It did, and good for the Diamondbacks.
Well, Kirk Gibson was part of that time. Even before you played, Gibson was part of that same put on the handcuffs at 3-0. Now he's a manager in a new era, and he talks about the approach for Arizona. 3 balls, no strikes.
3-0 is just you have nothing to lose, and you're basically looking, the way we talk about it is you're looking like if you're in batting practice and you're kind of just looking for a ball right there, right down the middle. And again, you have to be disciplined to put a good short swing on. If you overswing, you just make an out. So obviously, when a guy goes oppo on that, he struck it properly.
Since it's so new, it's still an earned right getting that green light, correct?
Well, I think what Kirk Gibson is doing, he's showing trust in his players, and Justin Upton has earned his trust in that situation. I don't think everybody on this team would have been allowed to swing 3-0 right there, but Justin Upton, his number 3 hitter, a game changer, and has been for years. He got the 3-0 green light, and he made it happen.
Grace, Sutton, Abbott, and Costello as well, and I'll tell you why. We're always talking about who is on first for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jody Jackson doing her research, getting inside of that locker room, finding out more. It will be a subject matter throughout the evening, and it's been a subject matter each and every night. Jody tackles the subject.
downtown Phoenix. Rockies in town. Diamondbacks look to continue their winning ways on this, a winning homestand so far. Jody Jackson with you on the field, and it's been a hot topic in spring, and now it's continued through the month of April. Who is on first for the Arizona Diamondbacks? 3 players have shared time in that position, and tonight we're asking you. It's our weigh-in delivered by the UPS store. Diamondbacks first baseman this season. Take a look at the numbers. Xavier Nady, Juan Miranda, who is in there tonight at that position, and Russell Branyan, all guys looking pretty even numbers-wise. They all bring something different to the table. So we were asking you, how would you go about managing the first base position for the Arizona Diamondbacks? Kirk Gibson talked about it today. He said it's a challenge, one of many challenges. As a manager, he would like to settle in on one guy, but he is doing his best to get those guys playing time. I talked to Xavier Nady today. He said it is tough. Sure, of course, guys that have gotten playing time in the past, learning how to deal with platooning with a couple of other guys. Stay with us. Weigh in on Facebook and Twitter. And Barry Enright, he'll be weighing in from the pitching mound, taking on Carlos Gonzalez.
Gila River Casinos. Play slots with your Players Club card at any Gila River Casino. You can win up to $20,000 instantly. Jack in the Box right now. It's good, too. The new bourbon barbecue steak grilled sandwich. It's at participating restaurants. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats. No blackout dates. Barry Enright ready to go against these Colorado Rockies. Gracie and I, glad to have you with us, along with Jody Jackson, who will join us throughout the telecast. We trust that as we talk with you midweek to this point, your week has been a good one. Those of you that are school age, hopefully things are going well for you in school. Summer is right around the corner. The boys of summer getting ready to go to work. 25-year-old right-hander begins this ball game with a strike over the outside corner. And again, thanks for joining us this evening. Barry Enright, Lincoln brings you the numbers. 5 starts, 2 losses, 1 win, a 5.76 ERA. The long ball has been a problem, but he works low in the zone. 0-2 the count to Dexter Fowler.
Well, back-to-back beautiful fastballs on the outside corner to jump ahead of Fowler. 0-2.
Got him with a fastball away, 92 miles an hour. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Mr. Fowler. And dust a spot off on the bench for him. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, brought to you by our good friends and partners with Pepsi Max. Fowler, Jonathan Herrera, pinch hit for last night in a key situation. We'll discuss Cargo, Troy Tulowitzki, Todd Helton, Seth Smith, Ian Stewart's going to be playing a lot Behind him, Chris Iannetta, and then the man on the mound, Yolis Chassin. 0-1 the count, Jonathan Herrera.
Once again, jumping ahead, staying right at the knees. Beautifully done.
What a pleasant surprise Herrera has been as that curveball misses low. The curveball in the last outing against Chicago, a key for Enright. That nice 12-6 break. 6 2/3, 2 runs in beating the Chicago Cubs. A low strike right at the knees. 1-2 the count to Herrera. Maybe a step to pole is all. The outfield the other way. Curveball, keeping it with him is Miguel Montero. Nice job by Miguel, by the way. Miguel's got some work to do.
Why's that?
39-year-old senior member of the catching duo had a big night last night in Henry Blanco.
Are you thinking Wally Pipp?
I'm just saying.
Okay.
The 2-2. Right back to the mound. Enright's an athlete, and he fields his position well, and that's worth talking about throughout the evening. Let's take a look at Arizona defensively. Notice when you watch this, you see Parra, Young, and Upton. And then you see Roberts, Wilson, Johnson, and Miranda. It says Diamondbacks defense. Look who else is part of the defense. Barry Enright. The pitcher is actually part of the defense.
That's actually part of it. And that's a big part of it. If you get a fielder, a pitcher that can field the box, that is a big weapon to have defensively, and that's why they work on it. About once a week, once a homestand, they get out and do what they call PFP, which is pitcher's fielding practice.
That one is bunted, grabbed in fair territory. Thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez.
Wow. Maybe next time, maybe try and drive it to gap.
Things off, and to do so for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Johnson back in there trying to get things going. Let's take a look at the entire starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Stephen Drew at shortstop, a late scratch. Some minor groin problems, and so Drew gives way to Josh Wilson. Montero, Roberts, Miranda, Parra, Wilson, Enright down to the bottom. Yolis Chassin, the right-hander, is only 23 years old, and here he goes, readying to face Young, Kelly Johnson, and Justin Upton. As that one sails in, 1-0 the count. So far this season for Chassin, it has been a fabulous start to 2011.
Just about all these Colorado Rockies pitchers can sport very impressive numbers.
Strikeouts are up for him. And in his ballpark, in Coors Field, his ERA, sub-2. Can't say the same about pitching on the road. He has scuffled away from Coors Field. As Chris Young pops that one up in the infield, the shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki, puts it away. Gonzalez, Fowler, Smith, outfield. Stewart, Troy Tulowitzki, Jose Lopez, Todd Helton infield. Chris Iannetta catching Yolis Chassin. Tulowitzki, the Gold Glove winner in the National League. Kelly Johnson takes a pitch away. 1-0 the count. Kelly hopped off the bench as a pinch hitter last night. Drove a ball to the wall in center field. And you just hope as he reaches about 100 at bats, and it's only 18 hits, and it's a tough start to the season. He hopes so too. His next 100 are much better.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Breaking ball fouled it off.
Lots of swings and misses this year from Kelly so far, and that's not, even though he is a guy that's going to strike out over 100 times, but he's on a pretty rock solid pace this year as far as strikeouts. He needs to cut those down.
Thought about it, didn't. 2-2 the count. Kelly began his major league career in 05 with the Braves. Bobby Cox manager, won for his first 30. He started his major league career, won for his first 30. So that one is fouled back to the screen.
You know who else did that? Except it was 1 for 36, I believe. A guy that now resides in Cooperstown, New York, by the name of Ryan Sandberg.
A really slow start to his career.
As a third baseman.
Ooh. Kelly pulls that changeup down and away. Trying to earn himself a hit. He is beaten that time on a changeup rollover. So Johnson is done. To finish the story, Bobby kept putting him in the starting lineup. Bobby Cox, I'm guessing you would remember that with Atlanta. In his next 11 games, he went 17 for 44, a 386 clip. And a major league career began. He hates to admit that he will be there where he is now and where he was then again in his career, but he will. He will also have another month like he did last April.
Every great player, every average player, and even below average player, you're all going to have bad months. You're also going to have good months. For instance, there's a guy residing in St. Louis, Missouri. He plays first base for the Cardinals. Would you say April was a good month for Albert Pujols?
Certainly not, especially the first few weeks. All right, 2-0.
It happens. It just happens. But trust me, are Cardinal fans worried about Albert Pujols? Certainly not.
2-0 the count. All right, it's 3-0.
Well, you definitely have to be taken here, right?
3-0, that's what happened yesterday. The decisive home run in the 8th inning.
Well, let's see what Chassin throws here on 3-0. Fastball. Missed with it inside.
So speaking with Justin before the game, and I found this interesting, and it is the modern-day player, Gracie, certainly. He said, what I love about being given the green light on 3-0 is that I feel like I take more engaged and more aggressively even the pitches I take. I'm learning, I'm aware of what I'm doing. He said at times, especially as a younger player, when I was given red light, which is common, I passively took strike one or ball four.
Not him. That's just something he had to learn with maturity. And he was just taking all the way there. He had no inkling at all of swinging at that pitch. He was just taking it all the way.
He had a chance to talk with guys on both sides. It's an interesting subject matter, I'll tell you. And as you said, one that has really evolved. Perfect pitch to Miguel Montero.
You ever talk to your dad much about that as far as like the pitcher's side of
Not
the
3-0
3-0 count?
No, I haven't.
And swings versus takes, stuff like that. I would imagine pitchers love it if you're swinging 3-0.
Going back a generation or so. Certainly worth talking even to a modern-day veteran pitcher about. We will flip over that stone as we go along as that one sinks away. 1 ball and 1 strike the count on Miguel Montero.
For instance, there's George Frazier, does a great job on the Colorado Rockies side. Former terrific pitcher in the major leagues. Maybe between innings we'll go see what he thinks.
1-1 the count.
Did you ever see George pitch?
I did.
He had very good stuff.
I did. He pitched with an old school, certainly, attack, too. He was a bit of an edge out there coming out of the pen. 1-2 the count to
He
Miguel
still
Montero.
got a little bit of an edge over there in that booth.
I like it. He's fun to talk baseball with. Get you two together. The school couldn't be any older.
The position player side of things and the pitching side of things.
1-2 the count.
Upton's moving on this one.
Upton, gone. Swung right through. That is the end of the inning. Just seen the good stuff on the attack. Good breaking ball.
Juan's going to play today. He may play tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't made my mind up yet, but he was out today working hard. We hit breaking balls on the field today, and I'm looking for people who are going to be more consistent on a day in and day out basis, and trying to develop them to, I guess, what our philosophies are and the approaches that we believe in certain situations, and that's not only offensively but defensively. And like I said yesterday, it'll all work itself out.
Yeah, it has become a daily subject matter for Kirk Gibson in his meetings with the media. Juan Miranda starts for the 11th time this year. Nady has started 8 times. Russell Branyan has started 10 as Troy Tulowitzki takes low. 1-0 the count. 284, 7 home runs, 17 batted in. Colorado Rockies shortstop. Curveball, 1-1 the count.
Well, when you can throw that 1-0 breaking ball for the called strike, it's going to be taken just about every time, folks, because guys like Troy Tulowitzki, they're looking for a fastball that they can hit into the seats. If you can throw that little breaking ball for a called strike, boy, what a weapon that is.
Thought about it, and he did not go around. 2-1 the count. Much like Buster Posey exploding onto the scene last year, Tulowitzki did several years back, and both experiencing, as they hang around longer in the big leagues, being busted in, being pitched hard in. Big guys, power to all field, perfect pitch. That's away, 2-2. But Tulowitzki said before the game, I was talking with him about being pitched in, he said, if I'm going right, I let it sail inside and it's a ball. If I'm not going right, I swing at it and I'm out.
Makes sense.
In.
Like that. That one was way in. That ball had some really good late life on it. In on the belly button of Troy Tulowitzki.
And he did just exactly what he was talking about. He does not hit well in this ballpark. He offered it that pitch. And according to the shortstop for the Rockies, A lot of times that one is turned loose, and it's ball 3. That one down and in on a changeup, racing and running it down out there. Gerardo Parra pitched in but soft that time. A little dive on the changeup ties him up. The weigh-in is delivered by the UPS store. We heard Kirk Gibson a moment ago. This is you two join in the ongoing conversation. How would you go about managing the first base position for the Diamondbacks? We know you fans talk about it, think about it. Your chance to weigh in on Facebook, on Twitter, on FoxSportsArizona.com. What a challenging job. We are learning what a challenging job it is to be a manager with a question like that. If you really stop and think about it, as Todd Helton, future Hall of Fame first baseman, you realize how challenging it is to come up with a single answer. That's why we thought it'd be a fun discussion to have for all of you. We did have a thought early on.
X80 had a big hit last night, driving in a pair in a 3-run second inning.
Todd Helton drives that one on a breaking ball. Young finds it and hauls it in. So far, so good for Enright.
Leave it alone. Gibby is doing the right thing by having them work for it.
All right, there you go. You folks are starting to weigh in already. That's fast.
Gibby says, yeah.
Combine their K rate with their batting average.
Huh?
And Nady is an easy choice.
That had to have been from you.
No, it's not. I'm not David Atkins. Not today.
You're one of those guys that looks at that K rate and stuff like that. And
well, he's just saying he would pick Nady.
Put together with these secondary stats.
Right. He's just saying I'll pick the guy with the best batting average that strikes out the least. That's simply what he's saying.
Gotcha.
But it's an interesting discussion.
Well, if that's the case, that would be Xavier Nady.
And that's why I voted for him. Okay. 1-0 the count. See that? I should have told David, run it through my filter and I'll make it so you might enjoy it. But when you go K rate and all that stuff, you're not in.
I'm gone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Play the best player.
The 2-0. And you know what? He's telling us, the manager of this team, he's trying to do that every day.
Well, and also, I mean, defense has to have something to do with it, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, of course. After
so
watching
a little more than just
help.
K rate and batting, you got to be able to play the position a little bit. Was in right. A 2-out walk to Seth Smith.
By the way,
base runner.
Kevin Towers will be joining us in the ball game, and we certainly can ask him about it as well. It's a challenging decision. It's been a challenge for Gibson and Towers and the Diamondbacks decision makers since they built the roster. And you made a great point. Since Nady and his arm did not come 100%, and maybe a guy that you could play more in the outfield, but really a better choice at first base now because of that arm in spring training anyway.
Good breaking ball there to Ian Stewart to jump ahead 0-1. There it is again, that early in the count curveball. If you can just spin it up there for a called strike, it's going to be taken just about every single time.
And it also, for me, stirs up the hitter's mind a bit.
Absolutely it does.
I've been a big believer in that. We've always talked about that.
And it sets up that thing of beauty right there to the inside corner from Barry Enright. 0-2.
So Ian Stewart just 2 of 27. He was sent down to the minor leagues to Colorado Springs. Now, in AAA, he raked. He had 13 hits. He hit .361, 3 of them homers. Ty Wigington on the DL. Ian Stewart up. That one is away. 1-2 the count. Barry was really good against the Cubs last time out, wasn't he?
He was very good. And he also had the great fortune of getting 7 runs out of the gate from his offense. But he pitched well with a big lead, and it's not easy to do for pitchers.
Big shift. They play him to pull pretty dramatically. Enright again, fielding his position very nicely. Comes off the mound, Kevin Towers, general manager of the Diamondbacks, will join us right around the corner. Half of inning number 2, Kevin Towers, general manager of these Diamondbacks, joins us. Mark Grace, you know him. How are you?
Doing good.
Now, you've been traveling a lot looking at amateur players?
Quite a bit. We picked 3 and 7 in this year's draft in the first round, and been to Oklahoma, been to Kansas City.
Ryan Roberts lines that one to center field.
UCLA, all the above. Big draft for us this year, so looking forward to June 6th when we make those picks.
UCLA has Cole and Bauer, a couple of big names there.
2 very big right-handers with good arms, and the Bundy kid that's in Oklahoma at Owasso, and a kid in Gardner, Kansas, Bubba Starling.
Bubba
I've
Starling.
heard of him.
That's a great name. Good
I've heard
football
of him.
player, too, yeah. So it's a good year to be picking in 3 and 7. This is probably the most depth that there's been in probably the last 10 to 15 years in the draft.
Roll to the right side. Juan Miranda is erased.
Hope you can stay a while. That's 2 pitches, 2 outs there, KT.
Yeah, it's going very fast. This is a subject our fans are talking about tonight. It's honestly kind of embracing the challenge that you and Kirk Gibson have with, because of Nady and his arm, 3 first basemen and finding time for all of them.
Well, it's difficult. Originally when we signed Xavier, we thought he'd be playing a lot of left field. Struggled a little bit. The arm wasn't quite where he had hoped it to be in spring training, so we're trying to get him as many reps at first. But Gibby and I talked actually the other day that maybe we'll try to get him in left field a little bit more just so we can kind of spread the at-bats amongst all 3 of the guys.
And then it plays itself out a little bit easier then, correct?
Well,
or is it still tough?
You play the hot hand. You play matchups and who you think matches up better against certain pitchers, and I think Gibby's done a good job of that so far this year.
Well, and also, I think nobody expected Willie Bloomquist to come out and just light it on fire the way he did. He found himself getting a lot of left field time instead of maybe an X-80 or something like that.
Willie and Ryan Roberts both had incredible spring trainings, and it would have been nice to still have Willie, especially tonight when we're giving Steven an off day. It would have been nice to have him at short, although hopefully Josh Wilson has a good day for us. But both those guys, and that's what we liked about our bench going into the season. A bunch of versatile players. When you look at Blum, you look at Mora, Bloomquist, Nady, they can play several positions, and I think over a 162-game schedule, you're able to give some of those regulars days off.
Parra erased on a fabulous play from Ian Stewart. That is a fine play. Can you stay?
Sure.
All right, so Kevin Towers is staying. If the innings go like that, he'll be with us the rest of the game. Aaron Sutton back of the ballpark. Zach Duke today took the mound and threw a simulated game. What's the latest on Duke, and can you forecast out a little bit for us?
Well, I heard he threw well in the pin today. I actually was over at Saul River Field today seeing Aaron Heilman throw, who threw very well for us.
What's going on with all these first pitch outs?
You guys want to get me out of here in a hurry.
This is a few visuals of your pitcher today, Zach Duke. Willie Bloomquist in there. That's good news to see him in there, too.
He's getting close. Maybe a couple rehab games in extended spring, and hopefully after the off day in San Francisco, hopefully Tuesday in San Francisco.
So what'd you see in Aaron Heilman then today?
Threw the ball very well. He was 90 to 93. Very good changeup. Not throwing as many sliders now that he's out of the rotation, but felt good afterwards, and hopefully in San Diego he'll be ready to be activated.
It's always fun to talk about guys that seize opportunities like Ryan Roberts. For you, he had to show you something. You liked what you saw reading back in all your comments. You liked the energy, the effort, the numbers, but still in a numbers game, if Jeff Blum might have been healthy, as Chacin picks up a base hit. He is 2 for 9 this year. If Blum's healthy, Roberts might not even have been in the equation. Is that wild?
It may have happened that way, and he just played his way onto the club. And a couple of years ago, I really liked what I saw when I was with San Diego last year. A little bit of a down year for him, but I think I like, and I know Gibby likes those guys that play with fire and grit. And this guy gives you everything that he has when he's on the field. He wants to win. He's a competitor, and he's got some power. He can play several positions, and really fun to watch.
May 4th, how you feeling? How you feeling about the way things have gone so far? About what you expected? Maybe a little better, maybe a little less?
Well, I'd like to be where the Rockies are. I think you'd like to be in first. We knew we had a tough schedule in April, and we played 3 playoff ball clubs from the previous year, and some tough road trips, and we figured if we could be somewhere around 500, it would be pretty good considering this part of the schedule. So kind of like where we're at, but would rather be in first.
Pitcher on the move out front of Fowler, which will slow down the bases. That allows Upton to shoot it in there and make it somewhat close. Runners are on second and third. Dexter Fowler with the double. So you saw the speed and the extra base hit ability of Dexter Fowler there with that double. That is double number 11 this year. 11 doubles.
Rifles it right past the outstretched arm of Juan Miranda, and he's just got such great speed. He challenges Justin Upton. Strong throw, but late. The Rockies making a little noise here in the top of the third.
Pesky Jonathan Herrera. Kevin Towers joining us up in the broadcast booth.
Corners are in. The third baseman and the first baseman. They're going to try to cut the run off at the plate.
KT, David Hernandez. I mean, it's gotten for our fans, that's all I need to say, and their response is wow.
Big arm. We had him in 98, 99 last year. I mean, once he went from the rotation in Baltimore to the bullpen, the velocity really spiked. And I think yesterday was probably as hard as he's thrown since he's been here. And he had the good curveball as well.
We're going to have a play at the plate here, boys.
This is the pitcher running the bases. And on a hop, nothing.
Like that.
Gracie?
It's always nice to have pitchers running the bases, because the Rockies just ran themselves right out of a 1-run lead right there. He decides, okay. His heart's really not into it. Okay. Chris Young got it in quickly, and that's what you want. So now Barry Enright, one big pitch away from getting out of a mess. But it's not going to be easy. Carlos Gonzalez, who tried to bunt his last time up. I'm sure Enright would love to see that again. And so would Kevin Towers.
Pop up to the catcher.
A ground ball to the right side. Thank you for answering some of our questions. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming by and hanging out with us.
Thanks for having us.
See you, pal.
See you very much.
Rockies game, stop by the Arizona Lottery kiosk outside the team shop to score a free D-backs game ticket and an entry to win a Luis Gonzalez meet and greet when you purchase $10 worth of any Arizona Lottery tickets. Winners will also have the chance to enter for the grand prize. That's a Fox Sports Arizona VIP tour. Visit ArizonaLottery.com for all events and details. Kevin Towers, thank him for stopping by.
One thing about that you really appreciate about Kevin, he's just so forthright. Just answers your questions.
Mm-hmm.
No paranoia. Just, yeah, that's the way it is.
Josh Wilson got a late start.
There's a one pitch out.
The injury to Stephen Drew, or the mild discomfort Stephen Drew, some groin problems having Drew sit. So Wilson is erased on a one pitch out, as you said. Quickly, Josh has played in the big leagues with Florida, Washington, Tampa Bay, in 2009 with Arizona, San Diego, and Seattle. And to get a little bit of game simulation, even though he thought he wasn't going to be starting, he did play in that simulated game against Zach Duke today. So at least he got to get that bat generated up a little bit more. And then was put in the lineup very late in the evening, heading into the game. 2-0 the count, Barry Enright. Two and one the count. Now Barry can hit. 21 of 59, 356 in the minor leagues, 209 in the big leagues. Barry can hit. Deep left field. Touch 'em all. First career home run for Barry Enright.
Well, you said he could hit, but before he was even out of your mouth, Darren. Way out of here for Barry Enright.
Chalk one up for the pitches there, folks. A pitcher that can hit. He homered once in the minor leagues, one time in his minor league career. He's always handled the bat very well.
I mean, this ball is just squashed. Fastball down the middle. He knew he got it. My goodness, way out of here to left field. Very impressive. Upton, Roberts, they're used to hitting home runs. They're not used to seeing pitchers hit home runs.
That pitch is in, 1-0 the count. Fulton Holmes homer, $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association, courtesy our good friends with Fulton Holmes. Stockton boy unloads on that one, 1-1 the count. Now that's proof positive that this is just a hitter's ballpark.
Yeah, that makes it 1-0. Well, I guess you'd have to call it a pitcher's ballpark because the pitcher just homered.
Well, the funny thing about Enright, he is down there in that bench and getting ready to go out and pitch. In his brief career, as you see the struggles for Chris Young, he has been a much better pitcher in this ballpark than on the road. Hopped up to the right side. Dan Herron was better here than on the road. Daniel Hudson's better here than on the road. Ian Kennedy, same thing.
What's that make you think?
That's a hitter's ballpark. Guys are just concentrating more at home.
Okay. Because they feel they have to.
They have to. The 2-2. Into the dirt there.
Well,
having to, pick up their dry cleaning. They just have a lot more to think about at home, so they're more focused.
More focused. Good.
I can't put anything scientific to it. I just love that a pitcher overcomes what are perceived numbers.
If you make your pitches, you're going to do well in any ballpark. If you don't, you're going to get slugged in any ballpark.
Chris Young popped up to short back in the first inning. That one's over the outside corner. That's strike three. So Young, the second out of the inning. He goes down the 28th time this year via the strikeout.
Chris thinks this ball's outside, but it is definitely not. That is right on the plate, and that is strike three.
Don't forget, anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with a large drink purchase from 4 to 6 the following day. Taco Bell. Curveball is high to hard hitting Kelly Johnson.
We're going to stay with that.
I think we need to.
Until he gets red hot. It's just a matter of time.
Kelly was talking to one of his former teammates who's off to a great start. Putting up big numbers.
Who's that?
I thought I'd leave that teammate nameless.
Okay.
But that teammate feels like, I only have a handful of extra base hits. I'm supposed to have extra base hits and drive it in the gap. So his brain's getting scrambled. Roll to the right side. That's twice he tried to pull a changeup. And that's twice it has gotten him on a ground out. This one, 3-1. Barry Enright. That brain's not scrambled as a hitter, is it, Grayson?
Not at all.
They miss his mustache. It has medicinal powers. That gentleman talking about his
cured his gout.
Toe feeling better because of Clay Zavada's mustache.
And it can beat the heck out of Brian Wilson's beard.
In on the hands. Fair ball. Wow.
Kerwin Danley. That looked like it hit chalk. And Kerwin Danley, the third base umpire, is getting an earful from Rich Dower right now. And now Jim Tracy's going to come out and support his third base coach, and it looked like it brought up chalk. Take a look. He's looking right at it. That's fair ball, isn't it? Or is that chalk that came up, or is that just grass that came up?
That ball's fair, says Troy Tulowitzki.
Oh, it's just so tough to tell if that was maybe a centimeter foul or if that was chalk that came up. I mean, grass certainly comes up. That looks like, golly. What do you think, Darren?
Well, I saw it fair live, but I mean, that looks like white popping up there, unless that's just dirt. Maybe a break for the Diamondbacks.
I think you might be right.
Ryan Roberts is telling Kerwin Danley that was a great call.
Kerwin saying thank you very much.
I saw it foul the whole time. So 0-1 the count to Troy Tulowitzki. He was thinking double, easing on in there. There's that pitch in. So when I first got to the big leagues, I didn't see quite as many pitches in. Now I see a lot of them.
Exactly. They have to try to move him off the plate because he's so big and strong. If he gets extended on something out over, he drives it out of the ballpark.
That one is low, a sinking fastball. 2-1 the count to Troy Tulowitzki. Enright pitched last year against the Rockies here in this ballpark and pitched very well. Tulowitzki drives it to right field. Justin sticks with it and puts it away. One out here in the fourth inning.
Well, you can follow the D-backs with MLB.com at bat 11 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit dbacks.com for details.
Like a professional voiceover man, Gracie delivers the read. Over the outside corner. Good sink to that one. 0-1 the count. Very solid read.
Well, thank you.
Really coming of age.
Well, you're finally letting me, you're allowing me to come of age.
The 0-1.
You used to be a ball hog with those.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you swing 3-0 on occasion. 1-1 the count. Enright pitched it Pepperdine collegiately. And very well, of course, as the curveball is low. 2-1 the count. So Todd Helton, a one-time college quarterback, backup quarterback at the University of Tennessee with Peyton Manning, had a football out in the locker room today.
Really?
And was tossing it back and forth. You might think some light tosses, over the couch area where there's a television.
There's a lockout. Is he going to be like a replacement player?
He certainly, with the way that ball was being not tossed but thrown from side to side in the locker room.
He's still got that good football arm, huh?
Goodness.
He can zip it.
I stayed out of the way, as did all of his teammates.
Ball 4.
Again, reaffirming what we told you yesterday, there's definitely a pot stirrer inside of that number 17 because he was making it clear that he was just a couple of inches above some of his teammates' heads and laughing across the locker room.
Little John Elway busting plaster off the walls in there.
Seth Smith is a man he is playing catch with, ironically enough. But there's really no irony at all because he was a quarterback in college himself. At Ole Miss behind the other Manning, Eli Manning. But Smith, he was kind of taking it easy in his tosses. Helton, I think, was looking to maybe get somebody.
Maybe hurt somebody
a
little bit. Huh?
0-1 the count. No, not Todd. 1-0 the score. Arizona on top. Curveball. 1-1 the count. Good take. Enright deals with contact more than most. He is not a strikeout pitcher. So far in his time in the big leagues, he is less than 5 strikeouts per 9 innings. So you really have to execute command. Lefty's hitting .320 against Barry this year. Was that back leg and the curve ball called high. 2-1 the count. Let's see where it had it.
Might have been a little more outside than it was high.
Yeah, off the plate away.
And all of a sudden, after a quick out, a walk to Helton, now 2-1 count. You got to be careful here now if you're Enright. He made a really good pitch right there. Outside corner at the knees, and all Seth Smith could do is foul it off. And this is just a quality fastball down and away. Seth Smith. Think Sylvester the Cat would enjoy that name?
I've always battled it. I always clearly enunciate because it's a tough one. Seth Smith.
Suffering succotash.
2-2 the count. Left field. Sending Parra back to the track. And he puts it away. So Seth Smith is erased on a fly out to left field. Ball went a little bit further than I thought it would. So now Ian Stewart. I mentioned Stewart getting the call back. The injury to Ty Wigington and a side injury. We had Kevin Towers in here a half inning ago, and while we were having the conversation, Smith made a great play to erase Gerardo Parra. And if there's anything for Smith, we can talk all we want, Gracie, about the struggles with Stewart this year. 2 for 28 now as Smith works in the dugout. But with Stewart, he's a good defender. He's become a really good third baseman.
And he can hit. He's just off to a rough start.
A mile high to right field. It's sending Justin into the corner. Still going. Still going. He doesn't get there. Helton hustling on around. Dropped out there by Johnson. Don't know if there was a play on the relay. But that high fly literally dropped onto the dirt in front of the wall on the warning track in the corner. 1-1.
That was ugly just all the way around. Justin misjudges it and just whiffs it. And then Kelly Johnson, there was going to be a play at the plate. Justin just never found the spot to run to, but he hits the cutoff man. And then Kelly Johnson booted the throw, or they would have had a good shot at Todd Helton at the plate. So a couple of mistakes there defensively hurt Barry Enright and the Diamondbacks.
Breaking
I guess
ball.
that's a double?
It's ruled a double, yes. Never touched his glove. You can see that bullpen. Hey, boys, that's a fair ball. Get going. What good-looking bender. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Stewart selling out. Really dropped his back shoulder under that one. Frustrating for Enright that it isn't an out.
Well, frustrating for everybody.
Belted down the line into the corner it goes. That one is out of here.
So instead of a 0 on the board, there is now those extra outs that Barry Enright cannot get, and it is now a 3-1 ball game. He hangs a slider on 0-2, and it hits the foul pole. Oh dear, don't throw those, Barry. Bang. And it hits the outside of the foul pole.
The 7th home run allowed this year by Barry Enright. No chance for an outfielder to make a play on that one. There was an opportunity to the batter before.
And that is true. That is true. But you can, he never should have come to the plate, but he never should have got that pitch 0-2 as well.
I totally agree. Any pitcher, and Enright certainly is as accountable as it comes, will tell you, I had to get the next guy. That one, and out.
Really good play there by Juan Miranda. All right, tied it up, boys.
Where's that reset button?
Last night, a unique night in Major League Baseball, unique for the Upton brothers as well. It was the 5th time that they've hit a home run. That is Justin Upton and B.J. Upton. 5th time in their careers to hit a home run, but much more rare game-winning home runs. The last time two brothers hit a game-winning home run on the same night, you go back to 1996, Sandy and Roberto Alomar. Last night, of course, Justin Upton did it in the 8th to give the D-backs the win. BJ with the walk-off homer for the Rays, and as BJ said after the game, I thought I was catching him, but every time I hit one, he hits one. BJ in the walk-off got the chocolate whipped cream pie in the face. Justin went unscathed last night. Guys.
He certainly did. Thank you very much, Jody. Justin Upton involved in decisive long balls. He and Big Bro yesterday involved in a play that was sticking in his craw. As a matter of fact, he passed by the starting pitcher. Basically found him and let him know, hey, I got you next time. And so he digs into that box. That doesn't happen by accident. 0-2 the count. Pulls that one on a backhand. That's a foul ball.
I'll tell you what, Kerwin Daly getting some tough calls down there. I mean, some really tough calls. Makes you wonder if that may have gone over the bag fair.
And if that's the case, that's an infield hit for Upton. By the way, speaking of Jody's story a moment ago, Justin this afternoon, hey, did you hear from your brother about his big homer? No, haven't heard from him.
No. No.
The 0-2.
Well, somehow able to nick that one foul and live to see another pitch.
Two. Yolis Chassin, Venezuelan-born right-hander. Upton walked back in the first inning. 6 for his last 14 against the Rockies. Out front of that one, popped it up. And that one is put away. Well, a lot of you folks have been asking and sending in emails and tweeting. What is Gila River Casino's Kachinko, you're asking? Well, find out and learn how you can play right here at Chase Field by going to the interactive kiosk near Section 111 during regular season home games. Got a good friend, a big Diamondbacks fan, Mr. Collister. Loves to come out and play Kachinko. Want to say hello to him?
Oh, we all love it.
That's a funny thing about Mr. Collister, by the way, a loyal D-backs fan. His biggest fans of our show, he's a Diamondbacks fan.
Right.
But the biggest fans of the way we deliver the game are his 2 cats. They just sit on the bed. They just love your voice.
You see the check swing there from Miguel Montero. Kerwin Danley says he went too far. Doesn't really excite me at all to hear that.
That's why I told you. That one is high, 1-2 the count.
What was it, a year or two ago, where if the Diamondbacks won a game, one of our lady fans was going to give her cat the good cat food or something like that instead of the crummy cat food.
1-2 the count. That one is low, 2-2 the count.
Nope, sorry.
I kind of like the
that
food.
one got away from the Diamondbacks late. You get that like 2-day-old dead mouse. Nope, no little friskies for you tonight.
Montero a little frisky as he is erased with a strikeout. Miguel, a couple of strikeouts tonight against his countryman, Yolis Chassin. I do remember that fan. She was a loyal fan, a faithful fan. And she made it clear that you guys win tonight, my cat's getting fed.
I'm glad you remember that.
Some things are just unforgettable.
That's fans, though. It's passionate fans. I've really heard of that since then. 1-0 the count.
No.
Or before that. But that night I had heard of it. But then again, as the game evolves and people swing 3-0 a lot more.
That's true.
And hitters have arms like Ryan Roberts that tell stories up and down. And folks decide whether or not they're going to feed their cat or not based on the performance of the club. The game evolves.
Oh, beautiful breaking ball there from Chassin. Well, he's got new life.
West High Speed Internet high speed pitch. 94 for Chassin, 92 for Enright. Two and two the count as that one sinks low. Well, here's what we know about Chassin. Last time out, he beat the Pirates going 7 innings, or I should say pitched well enough to win. But came up
took a tough loss
with a tough loss, 3-0. Chased high up and out of the zone, and that's a souvenir. Shut out the Chicago Cubs earlier this season at home. Struck out 7, won 5-0. There's the roll. Well, what an outing against Pittsburgh last time. On the ground, bobbled, recovering, and throwing in time for the out. See if the boys can get something going offensively so that everyone's pets can. The score, Colorado on top of Arizona. The site of Major League Baseball's All-Star Game in 2011 here at Chase Field. Dexter Fowler, Jonathan Herrera, Carlos Gonzalez as that changeup flutters up and out of the zone. 1-0 the count. Fowler struck out swinging back in the first inning. He doubled in the third inning. And he already, as that one dives low, 2-0 the count, has 11 doubles this season. Amongst the leaders in the National League with that total. 11 doubles.
That's on a pretty solid pace.
Golly.
3-0.
I would imagine won't stay on that pace, but just a little raw math tells you it's well over 50. Closer to 60. The Clay Zavada section is really going strong.
Love it.
Zavada pitching down in Double-A and pitching well, working his way back from Tommy John surgery last year.
A brand new elbow. I like it.
There's a strike. 3-2 the count. Clay, just 6 appearances, 6 1/3 innings, 9 strikeouts, a 2.84 ERA. I think that's a real mustache.
That's real.
Boy, you love it when you drop your back shoulder. You see that hitter do that, you're doing your thing. Wilson is there. In for Stephen Drew tonight. Minor groin irritation. Our AT&T trivia question told it's a good one. Name the 4 Rockies pitchers who have the most career victories against the Diamondbacks. The 4 Rockies pitchers, most career wins against the Diamondbacks. One and 0 the count to Jonathan Herrera. And he's tonight's starting pitcher, Yolis Chacín. That's not an answer. That would be incorrect if you guessed that. 1-1 the count.
How about Mike Hampton? Wow.
It's a good guess, though.
No, thank you. It was a wrong guess.
I'm sure it ties in somehow.
Couldn't have been too good.
I'm not so sure the question's too good.
Well, that's a whole nother story. It's awful. Ouch.
Oh, boy, down he goes. He delivers the pitch inside, knocks him down to the ground.
Oh. That's tough to withstand, that one.
Bobby Freeman
He's rocking.
Some Bryan Adams in the background. Summer of '69, just cranking it out there. The best days of my life. Oh, Bobby.
Good song. Bobby's feeling it tonight.
1-2 the count.
There's Bobby on his perch. Whoa. You hit one off your leg and then you get one right under your chin. 2-2.
Curveball is high. Luis Gonzalez weighing in on the trivia question. He's got a guess.
Who's he got?
He wants to guess Luther Hackman.
Oh, dear.
Outside, that's ball 4.
What an awful guess, Gonzo.
FoxSportsArizona.com is your home to exclusive coverage of the Diamondbacks. You can catch ASU baseball streaming live as they take on Long Beach State as well, Friday at 6:30. Make FoxSportsArizona.com your home for complete coverage of your Arizona teams. There's Bobby Freeman up there by the sand lot. Had an extra coffee before the game today. And I like it. Keeping it close at first. So I take it it's not Luther Hackman?
Well, I'm guessing no. How about Billy Swift? I'll bet you I know one.
Okay.
A guy that really went under the radar is a very good pitcher for the Rockies for quite a few years. I'm going to guess Pedro Estacio. Golly. All right, I give up.
That pitch grabs the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Carlos Gonzalez. Now, Carlos did the Diamondbacks a favor. I think they would interpret it as such. With 2 outs, dropped down a bunt that Montero easily turned into an out in the first inning. A couple of runners on, grounded out to first in the 3rd inning. Gonzalez, including tonight, is 6 of his last 15 with 3 extra base hits. He had 4 extra base hits in his first 22 games. Just starting to look like he's breaking out of that shell, isn't he?
Certainly did last night.
A big homer last night. One and one the count.
Laid off a pretty doggone good sinker there.
George Tulowitzki waits on deck. Two and one the count. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Rockies. A run on a hit with no errors for the Diamondbacks. That pitch is inside. 3 and 1 the count. Enright very deliberate this inning.
Pretty close pitch, but he missed his spot. And because of that, it gets called a ball.
Be careful. Runner goes, swung and fouled it off. 3 and 2 the count.
Took something off there. A change up there. 3 and 1. Pretty well done there by Enright.
Ended up being a really effective pitch because Gonzalez had committed. I mean, a big time aggressive swing. Rich Dower, the third base coach. Glenn Allen Hill over in the first base coach's box.
My old teammate, Glenn Allen. But he has some power. Huh. Oh, bueno.
So we'll do it again. The runner will head back in Herrera, Colorado. Here visiting Chase Field. They've not enjoyed it. Diamondbacks, as a matter of fact, at home over the last 3+ years against Colorado, they are 20-8 against the Rockies in this ballpark. And they're 8-2 in their last 10, including a win last night. The numbers are good all around. Breaking ball, ball 4.
Back-to-back walks now for Enright. Asking for trouble.
And a pace that has defenders on their heels. Our pitch count at 77. Here is Troy Tulowitzki. Charles Nagy, pitching coach. Staying close to the bag for Herrera is Kelly Johnson. That opens up the right side of the infield. High fly left field. Going back is Parra to the wall. He's got room. Whoa, boy.
Well, that was a towering drive. This time to left field. Gerardo Parra played that perfect. Got back to the wall, put his hand there, made the play. Just underneath it goes, but he gets back, runs to the spot, makes the play just short of the wall. 2 outs.
Here's Todd Helton. Drives it center. Young going back. It is over his head and off the wall. One run is in. Another comes on around. The Colorado Rockies are pouring it on now. Back-to-back innings. They have struck. They have put 5 on the board. They lead it 5-1 over Enright and the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Barry Enright didn't get much help from his defense the last inning when he gave up 3. But this one he's going to have to blame himself. A couple of walks in the inning. They both come around to score. Thanks to Todd Helton smashing this ball over the head of Chris Young. Young turns, runs, but he gets beat on the fly. Short hops the wall. Easily scoring the 2 Colorado Rockies. Now a big-time uphill climb the rest of the way for these D-backs.
7 doubles this season, but a big tip of the cap to Todd Helton. 534 in his career, tying him 30th all-time in the history of the game with Lou Gehrig. Ties himself up 30th all-time with Lou Gehrig on baseball's all-time doubles list. There's nothing wrong. You had your moments throughout your career. Careers are all different. They're in different eras, but when you can have his name, have your name upon occasion said with a great like Lou Gehrig.
I rarely got compared to Lou Gehrig.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you get on that doubles list. You're a 500 double man. You were mentioned in the breath with a lot of special players. And that 500 doubles, we were in attendance. We were, as the opposing team, able to call it. It's a special club to be in. There's your active leaders in doubles.
Awfully good players.
As I was saying. Into center field. Helton skating on around. It's a Rockies kind of night. They lead it by a score of 6-1. A couple of college quarterbacks turned big leaguers. Do some huge damage with 2 outs.
And now Barry starting to get hit very hard. Seth Smith smoked that pitch back up the box. And as you said, now the Rockies starting to pour it on.
High fives all around for the Todd father.
It's one of the better nicknames.
Well, the Diamondbacks starting pitchers, by the way, on this homestand, this is the first time that a Diamondback starting pitcher has given up 4 runs. It's been 6 or more innings, 3 earned runs or less 7 times, 7 or more innings, 3 earned runs or less 4 times. Uh-oh. That one hits Enright. My goodness. Makes a great play to recover, but to add insult to injury, or better said, injury to insult, Barry Enright struck with a one-hopper. The Todd father, for now, tied with Lou Gehrig, 30th all-time, with 534 doubles. Huge crushing blow. You guys guess Jeff Francis or Aaron Cook? How about Ubaldo Jimenez and Jorge De La Rosa? JDLR, Gracie likes to call him.
I do. You're right.
Juan Miranda takes a pitch that is low. 1-0 the count. Frustrating night again for Barry Enright. And he sees that ERA bounce on the high side.
On the glass half full side, if it weren't for Barry Enright, Chassin would be working on a no-hitter.
Yeah, it is a good point.
Barry Enright's got the only base hit for the Diamondbacks. It was a solo home run back in the 3rd inning. Other than that, Chassin has made the hitters, if you will, look pretty meek tonight.
Pitch is low to Juan Miranda. 3-0 the count. We saw the big shift a moment ago. Miranda with a count 3-0 faces Chassin. He was a reliever for a while at one point in his career. But as a starter, Chassin in his 27 starts has a 3.14 ERA. His ERAs, his homers allowed, best for all Rockies. 25 or more games started the last couple of years. That's ball 4.
Well, the next time you're at Chase Field, use your smartphone's Wi-Fi to connect to Digital D-Backs, our new free portal that's available only inside Chase Field. Get free access to video replays, find a full menu of ballpark concessions, and purchase tickets directly from your phone. See?
What's that gentleman doing speaking into that thing? What is that? Phones were used for texting.
They are?
And for Wi-Fi. Parra steps out. That one bounces in there. 1-0 the count. Well, that gentleman continue to report on what he sees at the ball game. Certainly.
Sure.
And the other part of the story is that Yolis Chassin is looking the gift horse in the mouth right now. He has been given the support. He has the runs, and suddenly he has come out flat. Time for the Diamondbacks to put a couple on the board.
They do exactly what the Rockies did to Barry Enright. He's going to walk people. Huh? Played him. A.K.A. the Todd father. He made him pay.
There is Todd Helton. 534 career doubles. By the way, Al Simmons is next on the list. Runner on the move. Boy, you better make it.
What is going on? What is going on? Somebody messed something up there. Guy's not throwing any strikes. You're down 6-1, and you're stealing. I would imagine somebody's got to tell Juan Miranda in Espanol that was probably a mistake. That's just where we talked about it coming on. The 3-0 count, the stolen base, the game is just so different now. And there's ball 4.
I mean, is it possible to mistake a take sign for a steal sign from another bag? But then you have to stop and at least think it through and ask for the signs again.
Exactly. Well, and you also have to. You're a Major League Baseball player. You're a Major League Baseball player, and you played a great brand of baseball in your native Cuba. They have a great national team there. And trust me, he didn't run 6-1 when he was playing for the Cuban national team. He's got to know what the situation is and what the scoreboard says. There is a really, really large scoreboard out here in center field that you can take a look at and see that there is no way in heck that Kirk Gibson or any manager is going to give you the steal sign in that situation, especially if you're not a fleet of foot guy.
So now Josh Wilson. Wilson lined to right field back in the third inning. Breaking ball. 0-1 the count. Wilson has played in more than 1,000 games in the minor leagues. Fewer than 300 in the major leagues. That one is low. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Again, Wilson in there for Stephen Drew. Late scratch in the lineup, Drew, with some groin problems. Nothing serious. Remember, he had that lower abdominal strain. At times can be one and the same for Drew, so some discomfort there. Just hope he's okay. One and two the count. And if you're just joining us, at some point, folks, we might take a really look around the major leagues at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Really? Fifth inning, that's kind of early for you, Darren.
Well, not yet. 1 hit for Arizona. 6 for Colorado.
Put some pickoff plays on. T-backs seem to be running.
Big swing popped him up on a breaking ball. Herrera is there. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play. Barry Enright. His first major league home run. He'd have traded a sac bunt and a better outing, I promise you that. But when it's all said and done down the road, he will remember it. Homing at the minor leagues, just a tough night for Enright. The ERA, their earned run average this year, 6.49 for Barry Enright on the season. 6.49. All right, here's Russell Branyan.
That caught stealing just took kind of a lot of steam out of you, Darren, and out of this stadium.
Big shift defensively for Branyan. Now Branyan, when he plays first base, has started 10 times. Part of that discussion we were having earlier. As a starter, Branyan hitting .316 with 6 extra base hits and 2 RBIs. Breaking ball, 1-1 the count. Nady as a starter, .250, 2 extra base hits and 5 RBIs. Swing and a miss, 1-2 the count. Josh Colmenter. Little topper right back to the mound. An inning that started with some momentum. As a matter of fact, had a couple of walks in it. Ends empty. Real empty. Boy, another tough night for the Racing Gracie. I mean, a dead last. Randy with the win, but no one really cares about Randy winning. There we go. I love it when you lose, pal. I almost get caught. Watch this. Almost.
That's just wrong. It makes you so happy to watch my likeness stink.
It does. It's my deal.
I mean, it's
along with the laptop.
Yeah.
That your guy loses.
No.
The fans love him, though. I mean, look at him.
Show me a lovable loser, and I'll show you a loser.
Who's loved?
Well, that's arguable.
I mean, they're not even recognizing the Gonzo likeness. He's begging.
Like the kids hate him.
Well, your kids do.
They hate me.
Just the girls.
Yeah,
just
girls.
the women ignoring him, running.
That's usual.
Bunch of dudes slapping hands with him.
I can go out there and get ignored by all the ladies. I'm a dude magnet.
Jude won the count.
Yeah, dudes.
Josh Coleman.
Yeah, there's another one.
2-2 the count.
Not one female for the Racing Gracie.
Hold on.
No, come on.
No,
come on.
No, for Gonzo.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you, sweetie.
Did you see her dad, though? Get away from that.
Yeah,
Racing Gracie and Racing Gonzo.
Yeah. Dad, my hand itches.
3-2 the count.
And there's Cub fans still coming after the Cubs have left town.
That's what we like, though. Means they enjoyed themselves when they were here when the Cubs were here.
Exactly right.
Iannetta against Colementor. Josh comes on. The right-hander, the Michigan native, and a man who started in the minor leagues. Had to really earn his way here every step of the way. Was never considered a top prospect. Finally, because of his numbers, Colementor started to at least gain attention in the major leagues. Got an invite to spring training.
You couldn't ignore him anymore.
Straight over the top. If you've never seen him work, it's a pretty straight fastball. But that arm angle, I mean, really, that high shoulder up over his head. An occasional curveball out of that arm slot and a big-time changeup. That's a changeup. Up in the zone, on the ground. And on across in time for the out. Yolis Chassin is erased on a ground out. Don't forget the pool show tomorrow. We will be televising from the swimming pool. APS brings it to you. It's Cinco de Mayo. And tomorrow, well,
hey,
there you go. That's what you'll see. Or that.
Was that you or my son that pushed me in? That might have been you rabbit-earing me and then pushing me in.
It might have been me. 1-0 the count. But anyway, we'll have fun out there. It's a great place to enjoy a ball game from.
Now, are we in coats and ties tomorrow? Or are we?
Well, yes, because it's a travel day. Because it's a getaway day. It's a travel day. After the game, we're right on the plane and off to San Diego. And as any professional-looking club should be, you know, shirt and a tie. You're going to have to ruin your Armani by diving in the pool. Our Mercedes-Benz game summary. A long ball off the bat of Barry Enright. That is the good news. It looked out of the gates like an Arizona kind of night. Then things got a little bit shaky. Justin couldn't find the fly ball in the corner. It was a double. Chris Iannetta off the foul pole. That was a homer. Todd Helton with a huge two-out double that drove in a pair. And another college quarterback, Seth Smith, right behind him, singling in the Todd father, and that's where we stand at 6-1, brought to you by our good friends and partners with Mercedes-Benz.
And that's what first place teams do, Darren. They find one little mistake from the opponent and they pounce on it. And they turn that misplay by Justin Upton into 3 runs, and then a couple of walks the next inning by Barry Enright led to another 3-run inning.
0-1 the count, 6-1 the score. Chris Young steps out of the box. For Young, 7 home runs, 21 runs batted in. He has scored 20 runs. Got 3 homers and 3 doubles on this homestand. But he's also finding a lot of outs in the air in the infield as he did a couple of years back. As that one is low. League average for infield flyouts that are the percentage of all outs in the air is 12%.
Yeah, he's got to find somehow, some way.
He is 2.5 times that, about 30%.
Yeah, he's got to find a way to hit the top of that baseball. With his speed, ground balls are good.
Swing and a miss, 2-2 the count. He is about half league average putting balls on the ground. His walks are down this year, and his, unfortunately, strikeouts about the same as they were last year. 3-2 the count. But he'll tell you, you know, the one thing I want to avoid kind of all goes hand in hand, because when you're popping it up in the infield, that means the bat, you've educated all of us, is in the zone for a short amount of time.
Very short amount of time.
It's been a lot of good, too. But he chases high. One of those ugly breaking balls that has a pretty result if you're the pitcher.
Yeah, this thing just hangs belly button high right in the middle of the strike zone. Chris just swings right through it. And there's the frustration starting to mount. And I would imagine some other things are going to take a beating here shortly.
Kelly Johnson takes up and away. 1-0 the count. Kelly 0 for 2. Tried to pull a couple of changeups. And got him both times. Perfect fastball. 1-1 the count to Kelly. Johnson in his career against the Rockies has done good work. This is his 41st game against Colorado. 2-1 the count. Picked on a breaking ball. So the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's a good sign. Takes that changeup instead of rolling it over.
Exactly, that he has tapped weakly to the first baseman his first 2 times up. That time he was able to lay off of it.
Three and 2 the count. Eric Young said, I've been there before as first base coach and a fellow second baseman. Said he asked Kelly the other day, have you taken all your stuff, like whatever you usually wear to the park, and just thrown it out?
Throw it away.
Want to bought some new stuff?
Put some lighter fluid on it and start a bonfire. Just able to stay alive.
To which Kelly let him know, not yet. EY, the more old school guy, saying, hey, superstitious or not, might want to get rid of that stuff.
Yeah. One time I was going so bad, After the game, I just crank up a D-backs bonfire. That's big league.
The 3-2. High drive, deep right field. Burn, baby, burn. Kelly Johnson. There we go. Let's hope he gets hot. Literally, though, he would have taken a Texas leaguer.
Yeah,
but he'll take that, too.
Yeah, he just smoked that one, if you will. Curveball. That time stayed right in his happy zone. Middle end, boom. That was the Kelly Johnson that we saw a lot last year. Hard hitting Kelly Johnson, if you will. He crushed that one, and the Diamondbacks are a run closer. Still a big hill to climb. Two solo shots tonight.
Swings right through it. EY keeping an eye on his fellow second baseman. Changing things up. Some steps in that at bat that were positives near the end before the home.
He battled. Yeah, he had a long at bat. He fouled off some tough pitches just to stay alive. He finally got a mistake, and he was able to do something with it.
How about taking about 3 pitches near the end?
Changeup, yes.
Taking the changeup that was a ground out both other times.
Very good observance on your Paul, Mr. Sutton. It was just a tremendous at bat.
Popped up to the right side. By the way, I didn't tell you that with that homer, Fulton Holmes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Now I've told you, and that's a good thing. Trying to chip away. So there's been 2 walks and a homer. And really, the pitcher has recorded 3 outs. Swing and a miss. There's a strikeout. Got him way out front of a changeup. So Upton with a walk, a flyout, and a strikeout. All right, Miguel's been looking forward to this second opportunity. As Upton eases back to the dugout.
Miguel's had a tough time so far with Chassin. A pair of strikeouts. You got to just do it a little bit at a time. No need to go up there and try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Just get a base hit, get on base somehow, and trust the guy hitting behind you. Ryan Roberts, it would be in this situation, to do his job. But right now, you just tell everybody, if you're Don Baylor, the hitting coach, all right, everybody has a good at bat. And right there, Montero's trying to hit that one to East Mesa.
Miguel in his last 12 games hitting .154. Has just 6 hits. This team does fall into that trap still on occasion of trying to do it all at once. Takes that one the other way, though. And the inning comes to an end. Kelly Johnson, maybe the beginning of heating up. Ah, those boys in the tape room, Eric, Matt, and Derek. That's where all the action happens, in the tape room. There's really no tape anymore. It's all digital, but beautiful pictures there, guys. Thank you very much. The producer will tell you, in this case, it's Jason Lewis. He's the heartbeat of the show. We know that's not the case. It's in the tape room. As Jonathan Herrera.
Spoken like a guy that may have spent a little time in the tape room.
Yes, when there was tape.
Yes.
Jonathan Herrera against Josh Colmenter. Struggles for Enright. And for Barry Enright, very tough and tough to see because he pieced it together. And in an 11-2 win his last time out. Always called an infielder to do an infielder's job, not a pitcher. And that's what happened there. But if you're Colmenter, you stay in there until someone tells you to get out.
It's your ball until you hear somebody call you off. That's exactly what he did.
But you've got to think that Colmenter, with the struggles of Enright and the fact that Colmenter started and has been a starter, can at least make a statement in the next couple of outings. If, in fact, there is a job opening.
Possibly.
1-0 the count to Carlos Gonzalez. And obviously right now he's just pitching for tonight's game. It's still a ball game. I mean, a chance to,
of course,
to battle back. There is a lot that, when questioned publicly in a media setting with a large room, that Kirk Gibson doesn't say and cannot say and won't say. But there's a lot when those doors close that they discuss.
Of course. His job is to put the best 9 possible out there, and one of the most important guys every night is that starting pitcher.
Perfect
beautiful fastball. Goodness gracious, was that nice. Daniel Hudson's pretty good at blowing bubbles. And that just splits the outside corner. Beautifully done.
2-2. Curveball. Doesn't throw too many of those, but he did that time. Gonzalez sat on it, rifled it into right field for a single. So Carlos, a couple of ground outs, a walk, a run scored, and now a single.
Yeah, that one just hung, stayed right in the middle of the plate. And Carlos Gonzalez just whacked it into right field. Well, you make a mistake to these Rockies, they don't miss them very often.
Here is Troy Tulowitzki. Just in case, a little jump turn and throw over. One and 0 the count to Troy. Troy was talking about something we discussed with regard to Justin Upton coming on the air, and that's 3-0 swinging. He noted, first of all, with complimentary words, that Justin did a great job, exactly what you're supposed to do, find a pitch and really hurt it. He said we all aspire to do that when we're given the 3-0 green light. Back to the screen. He said, but I'll be honest with you, I find myself, and you've had an experience similar. He said, I was given the 3-0 green light earlier this year, bases loaded, and popped it up in the infield. I couldn't sleep. Figuratively, certainly, but
yeah, I did it many years ago.
Crazy, Grayson.
Yeah, I did it many years ago in a huge situation. Base loaded, 1 out. I hit into a double play on a 3-0 count, and I wanted to, honestly, I just wanted to, there wasn't a big enough hole to dig and hide under.
I'd say he's closer still to being a little old school in the way he feels about it because of that experience.
And then also, on top of it, the guy that was on deck, Andre Dawson. Yeah, I was feeling really good about myself after doing that. Me, my teammates, and a lot of fans, well, they called me stupid.
1-2 the count.
And it didn't hurt my feelings because it was. Now, if I'd have hit a home run like Justin Upton, it wouldn't have been stupid. It would have been Einstein-esque.
So he's experienced the highest of highs in that situation, a decisive homer. You've experienced success as well in that situation. So has Tulowitzki, but Tulo's tasted that lowest of lows like you did. He said it didn't taste real good.
No.
And it's been this year. He remembers it very vividly.
Tastes like that losing cat food.
Glad you brought that up again. 1-2 the count to the man out of Long Beach State. And I just have to remind all of you that when Gracie goes down and chats with him on occasion, I still, every time I have a brief moment to talk with Tulowitzki, I'm reminded just how big he is for a shortstop.
Big young man.
I mean, he's a forward. Well, he's a small forward.
And it's unfair to put anybody in this category, but honestly, he's the size he is and the position he plays, the first thing I think of is Cal Ripken. I mean, he's that size.
Stands about 6'4".
Yeah, Cal Ripken, until you meet him, you don't realize what a giant of a man he is.
A little roller had him reaching at that changeup. There's one on the first. That is a double play, and a nice job by a man who got a late call of his name, Josh Wilson, turning that one over. Too comfortable.
Chase Field getting set for Quest. Diamondbacks Live, the postgame show. Joe, I think we were wondering if Barry Enright would build on his last outing, his first win. He did not. What went wrong?
When you're not a strikeout pitcher, Todd, there's one thing you cannot do that usually results in big innings. There's just no defense for it. I'll tell you what it is and how it usually handcuffs a pitcher.
That's a tease on his 40th birthday. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Welcome to the club, Joe Borowski.
Well, good to have him in that club. Ryan Roberts, first pitch swinging. In time for the out, so Ryan is erased. Early had a chance to welcome you back. Ryan has grounded out 3 times. And here is Juan Miranda. Bottom half of the 7th inning, folks, a moment ago, standing up and stretching them out. Enjoying the 7th inning stretch, enjoying outdoor baseball. We know that over the next few days it's getting even hotter here in the Valley. The team, after tomorrow night's game, will embark on a nice, healthy road trip. We are all going to be reminded what road travel is all about. It's 3 in San Diego, 3 in San Francisco, and 3 in Los Angeles.
I like that West Coast trip, though.
Well, you love this division.
3 great places to play. Easy little ground ball to second base off the bat of Juan Miranda.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule, by the way, as we were telling you. San Diego, San Francisco, and then Dodger Stadium. Padres come to town. Chipper Jones, Brian McCann, and the Atlanta Braves, along with Mr. Hayward. And then the Minnesota Twins. Surprisingly disappointing year this year, but you never know what they can do in 2 weeks' time. Still a fun club to come out and see. A really gifted team. I know Kurt Zacher, our fine statistician, loyal Twins fan, except for this year.
They won another ball game today. They beat the,
oh boy,
at this point, awful Chicago White Sox.
Now you've already, as par it takes low, 2-0 the count for the Big Brother of the Fox Network. I think you've already called like 6 White Sox games. What are you seeing in that?
I think the White Sox play Detroit every Saturday, and I've got it.
You call it. What is it? Is it lack of offense?
It's a lack of offense. It started early in the season with the White Sox. They couldn't close a game out. They really had problems closing games out. Matt Thornton was the closer, and he couldn't close a game. So then, after about 12 days, then they lost their bats, and they have not found their bats since. Got no hit last night. Ball 4 to Gerardo Parra. He's walked twice tonight.
And by the way, when the Minnesota Twins come to town for that weekend series here in a couple of weeks, they'll be a 500 team by then.
Well, they're too well coached. Ron Gardenhire does an amazing job. And there's too much talent, but Justin Morneau is still starting to get his legs back underneath him, and Joe Mauer can't seem to get his legs underneath him.
Josh Wilson. Now, is it true that the White Sox once this year went 51 straight innings without a lead in a game?
That's hard to do.
51 straight innings.
51 straight.
And that's not good for the confidence.
Well, it's awful for it.
I mean, even 1-0 in the first.
I was going to say, let's head to the top of the second, and we're playing catch up.
2-0 the count to Josh Wilson. Ex-Nady with a chance to swing the bat. He's in the on-deck circle. Oh, boy. In the fine working media, he's a great writer over there, Steve Gilbert, MLB.com. I mean, you've got to visit his website. But just an awful play. Just came out from under the desk. What a great writer. You've got to visit him online.
Just talent beyond belief as a writer. One of the worst baseball players I've ever seen.
Leave Gilbert alone.
Hot shot, base hit, left field. Josh Wilson picks on a breaking ball. That's got to feel good. Don't even anticipate being in the major leagues, number one. Number two, the hanging breaking ball. He gets himself a hit in the big league.
Right. Now, all of a sudden, the Diamondbacks with an opportunity to make some noise and get right back in this thing. A visit from pitching coach Bob Apodaca. As Matt Belisle gets loose. Just one of the many guys out in that Colorado Rocky bullpen that just throws really hard.
That used to be a starter. They have a bunch of those guys that used to be starters that struggled, and because, as you said, they throw 100.
Lindstrom can touch triple digits. Chacin, a walk and a base hit, only a third given up here with 2 outs. But now all of a sudden a big opportunity. And ex-Nady's going to come off the bench and take his chances with Chacin.
286. 6 runs batted in. 10 of 35. He's got a couple of doubles. In on the hands, and he rolls that one foul. Was a Padre where he began his career under the watchful eye of Kevin Towers. Played for the New York Mets, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Over 97 runs in 2008. Breaking ball, called a strike.
Well, gorgeous pitch there from Chassin in a big moment.
This is a big moment last night for Nady. Singled in a pair in the third inning as Arizona held on to win. Wouldn't have won without those runs.
Yeah, now you're just trying to keep the inning going somehow, some way. Come off the bench, find yourself in an 0-2 hole. Now you're battling. Gas right by him. That didn't take long. Chassin answers the challenge, and he'll take a nice leisurely stroll to the dugout.
By Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, no blackout dates, fries. Like us on Facebook during tonight's game. Receive a coupon for huge savings, fries, fresh food, famous low prices, and by Quest. Joe Patterson goes to work and fires a strike again. A reminder, Quest, their 5-year price lock promise. Visit quest.com/promise. Joe Patterson, Todd Helton. It's a breaking ball. He's told it's in.
Boy, looked pretty good. That's got to be a tough pitch to read for an umpire. It's sweeping him so far from the first base side. And he's not giving it to him for some reason.
By the way, how about the numbers for Patterson to begin his major league career?
Joe Pa.
It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, he wants the Moachichi here.
Oh, no. He buried that fastball in. Todd Helton, I don't think, saw it initially. Yeah, we got to pass along the positive numbers. Can't be scared that they might have a negative influence.
Yeah, he's a Rule 5 guy. He is yet to be scored upon. That is fabulous. Good for him. I would imagine him and Josh Coleman are going to start getting more important opportunities. And this is a Rule 5 guy. As we said, you have to bring him along slowly. Get his feet wet. Let him face some of these left-handed. Goodness gracious, look at that breaking ball. Is that fabulous?
From one dugout to the other with that low arm angle, the Oregon native swing and a miss. Seth Smith, 0-2 the count. He went to McMinnville High School.
My goodness. That looks like zero fun for a left-handed hitter.
That one sweeps outside. His first year out of high school in Oregon, he went to a small school very close to his home, Linfield, Division III school, the Wildcats. Then he transferred to Oregon State. He's got himself a College World Series title.
Oh, boy. Barnard having trouble tracking that one. He just doesn't want to give it to him.
To be fair,
it's a tough read for him. There's nobody else in the game that pitches like Joe Patterson. And that one got him right in the fanny.
And that'll frustrate you if you're Patterson because you had him eaten out of your hands out of the gates. Now he faces Ian Stewart.
Well, the good news is when one of those slow breaking balls hits you, it doesn't hurt. That's not like getting hit by a Randy Johnson fastball by any stretch of the imagination.
Patterson has a very good friend, a neighbor growing up. He played at Oregon State, a young man by the name of Daniel Turpin. Originally a Giants pick like he was. They both began their career in the Giants organization. They're now gone from the Giants organization because Colorado acquired him. And the young man, his good friend and high school friend, pitches for the Rockies organization. Breaking ball, it's a strike. He's pitching in Double-A right now. 0-1 the count.
Just so unorthodox. Joe Patterson going to get a sign. We've only seen one fastball. Everything been a breaking ball. There's a fastball. Missed pretty badly with that one.
1-1 the count. Pitched in the Arizona Fall League. Turned some heads of a lot of teams, including the Diamondbacks, once he was made available in that Rule 5 draft.
Another breaking ball coming here to Stewart. Let's see if he can get it there. He's falling behind now, 2-1.
And again, that Rule 5, once you've been in a system for 4 years, that 5th year you have to be placed on the 40-man roster. As that one misses, 3-1, or you're available in the Rule 5 major league portion of the draft. Now, if you're picked in that Rule 5 draft by a team in the major league portion, you have to be kept in the major leagues all year long.
Or you have to give
off
them
from
back to the Giants. Exactly. That time he just rushed that fastball.
Swing and a miss. Threw him a fastball there. It's a $50,000 cost, by the way. Changing hands. That money goes to the Giants. If they offer him back, the Giants only have to pay half that to get him back, if they take him back. Swing and a miss. Got him with the bender.
And that's what he does. That is his specialty. Left-handed pitchers. There's the. Now you see it, now you don't. Kirk Gibson's going to say that's enough lefties for you. We got a righty coming up in Chris Iannetta. So he's going to go to the bullpen and make a change. But once again, a job well done by Joe Patterson. open, and the next time you come to Chase Field, look for our value item signs. For just $1.50, you can get a hot dog, a corn dog, a small popcorn, or a small drink. For just $4, you can get a 14-ounce beer. $4 for a 14-ounce beer. That's worth saying again. Visit dbacks.com/value or call 602-462-4784. And I can promise you, folks, you will not find that anywhere else in the game of baseball.
Good read, good information. Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. Sam Demmel, the Texan, goes to work for the 13th time this year. His last 7 appearances, Sam, has not been scored upon. And they've been, piecemeal rolls, not full innings here and there. So 4 total innings, no runs allowed.
I'm still excited about that $4 beer.
I know you are. Broke his bat. Going back on it is Wilson. He calls for it. Demmel, Patterson clean things up nicely. Come on, boys. Got to get something going.
Oh.
Fox Sports supports Arizona as we team up with Donate Life Arizona to reach our goals of 2,000 new registered organ and tissue donors. Visit donatelifeaz.org to register and become a donor. Now be sure to choose Fox Sports Arizona in the How Did You Hear About Us tab. Make the most of life through the gift of organ and tissue donation. Matt Belisle, Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. Big, hard-throwing right-hander. Takes the rock and he rolls for the 12th time this year. Oh, 0-1 the count.
We're getting a rendition of "Oh Canada" underneath us.
Meantime, Chris Young drives it to right field. Play is made out there by Seth Smith.
Glorious and free, oh Canada, we stand on guard. Come on, Darren. Oh, no? Okay. All right, let's play some baseball now.
Kelly Johnson fouls that one off, and you know why?
Pay respects to our neighbors in the north.
Earlier, Kelly Johnson, a fabulous at bat, took a changeup that he would have rolled over earlier in the game and then homered. So now he's in the hole 0-2. That one is inside, and I think what sparked that somewhat spontaneous rendition of "Oh Canada" is Matt Belisle.
Oh, he's from Canada.
Well, he's from McCallum, Texas.
Well, I'm having trouble following you.
That one is fouled off to the backstop. It goes.
So Matt Belisle has nothing to do with those rascals singing "Oh Canada" in the box behind home plate.
But Chris Young led off the inning, and I'm sure that's what.
And I'll bet you they've had a frosty cold one or two down there as well.
Chris, of course, is
just a guess.
It's from Houston. Chris Young.
I see.
That one is low.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's just better not to figure things out.
The 2-2. Kelly takes that one right out of the catcher's mitt. It rattles around where it's a souvenir. One all right. All right.
Well, hand stung, but
did he get it?
He got the baseball. Doggone right. He paid the price, but he got the baseball.
On the fly?
Yeah. No. Those are hard to catch on the fly.
Boy.
That thing had some.
I'm being told in the truck you might have made a great play.
Well, we'll have to check it out and see if it's worthy of a contract.
3-2. That's low. Good at bat by Kelly Johnson.
Kelly Johnson. Let's take a look and see. Is it worthy of a contract, folks? Boy, it almost took it right square in the head.
Well, he kind of was under the opinion that the guy with the glove was going to catch the ball. The guy just deflected it onto him.
He is very lucky. He's still got his chiclets.
Well, sir, if you bring a glove to the game, deflect the ball off that glove onto someone else. Guy's feeling a little guilty, I think, there in the orange. I'm sorry.
Sorry, you just almost. I mean, that was very close to being a very dangerous situation. Fortunately, nobody's hurt, and somebody's got a baseball and an ice pack for his hand.
0-1 to Justin. 1-1.
Gorgeous pitch.
0-2, check that. Grabbing the outside. That gentleman's even taken his glove off and just set it on his seat now. He benched it for the night.
Nice play there by Belisle to retire Justin Upton.
A little topper. You've got to get it clean with Upton's speed.
And then no panic. Just makes the play, gathers himself, and throws a strike to first base.
(6-2) the score. So everyone's okay. But again, our fan up there with the glove. The guy in the orange, he's got it.
Ow!
Boy.
And the guy with the glove just whiffed it.
Jim Tracy's coming out. Make a move. Call to the bullpen. Miggy, wake up, Miggy. You'll get him. Miggy.
Well,
there you go.
Visualize.
Yeah.
I am going to hit a line drive off number 50.
Don't forget, join us in the post-game show. We will talk about tonight's night and all the things that went on. Kirk Gibson must-see TV. And also we will be discussing the weigh-in. Miguel Montero, as we went to break, was visualizing success against the big fella, the hard thrower, Matt Reynolds, breaking ball. Tough to visualize a breaking ball like that.
You come out and you're 7'8", and you weigh 400 pounds, and you throw a beautiful breaking ball for strike one.
Look at that. First batter efficiency. Has retired all 11 of the first batters he has faced coming out of the pen. And that's how you set the tone. 0-2 the count.
Perfect breaking ball. Perfect fastball. 0-2. Disheartening to see.
Alfredo Amezaga, part of the double switch, bats ninth. The pitcher spot is in the sixth slot. Swing and a miss. Montero goes down. Reynolds now 12 of 12 coming out of the pen and getting those first batters. The Colorado Rockies 6, the Arizona Diamondbacks 2. Friday in the next episode of Diamondback Snapshot, get up close and personal with Joe Saunders as he talks about the emotional bond with his alma mater, Virginia Tech, the trade that brought him from Anaheim to Arizona, and a lot more. It's Snapshot with Joe Saunders. It's Friday at 6:30, only on Fox Sports Arizona. Juan Gutierrez, part of our Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen. 13th appearance of the year. And just for the sake of discussion, talk about setting a tone. Do you remember we just told you, viewers, about Matt Reynolds? Has retired 11 of 11 first batters he has faced. Gutierrez has retired only 6 of the 12 first batters he has faced. And that sets the tone for a reliever.
That's exactly right. Right now, the struggles are he's had trouble throwing strikes. Too many walks, 8 in only 11 innings. And usually when you walk people late, you're going to have a high ERA.
Alfredo Amezaga, playing this game for quite some time. He takes the assignment. He's a guy that originally earned his spot in the major leagues because of his speed, and has continued to earn utility spots because of his speed and his ability to play all over the diamond. But with that speed, you do yourself no good when you're in the air. And certainly good news for Arizona, as Alfredo Amezaga, 33-year-old, Mexican born and raised, is retired. And good news for the Big Goot.
It's always good news when you go one pitch, one out to start your evening.
fastball runs away. You saw 96. His average fastball this year, 94.2. Those about 6 out of every 10 pitches. Another good fastball, 1-1.
Gas again right by Dexter Fowler.
Isn't baseball a funny thing? And for me, you hitters, especially good ones, as long as you were in the big leagues, and guys like Todd Helton down there too, you get a pitcher like Gutierrez when he doubts himself, even with an arm like that. Major league hitters, for me, you tell me if I'm wrong, sense that.
No, absolutely. Body language is easy to see on a pitcher. You can tell whether a guy wants a piece of you or whether he doesn't. And even with a guy with the stuff like Juan Gutierrez, a lot of times that body language will show you, man, I'm not real confident in what I'm throwing up there right now. But I've liked what I've seen tonight so far.
And I guess the comparison to that is last couple of outings for J.J. Putz, comes out, hasn't had the splitter he's wanted, and just looks you in the eye like,
Let's play baseball.
Got you.
Let's play baseball.
I've got one pitch, but I've got you.
Yeah. He hasn't had a feel for his splitter for a while now. So he's just getting you out with fastballs and an occasional slider.
Breaking ball. Boy, that'll put some strut in your step. Dexter Fowler is done.
Second baseman Jonathan Herrera.
Kind of perplexing when you see what he just did to Dexter Fowler, and then you also take a look at his first month of the season. It just doesn't make much sense. Just 2 very easy outs here to start the ninth, and just pumping nothing but strikes.
At Fenway Park, a long rain delay wiped Irvin Santana of the Angels out of the game. But Irvin Santana, Rich Thompson, and Scott Downs are throwing a no-hitter at the Boston Red Sox.
Really?
At Fenway Park. That game is in the bottom half of the 7th inning, just getting underway. So they've got a lot of outs to get, but 9 outs away as they have gone now 6 innings of no-hit baseball, 3 different pitchers.
Can we get a no-hitter on back-to-back nights?
Oh, boy.
I mean, how do you categorize that? Yes, it's a no-hitter, but who gets it?
Team.
The team?
Absolutely. All the pitchers. The Houston Astros did that years back at Yankee Stadium, didn't they? I believe there was either rain or an injury, a groin injury to Roy Oswalt.
Yeah, I remember they pieced together about 6 pitchers.
Billy Wagner pitched in that game.
No-hitter. So the team gets it.
It's a team no-hitter.
Which pitcher gets the ball?
Whoever's the strongest.
Whoever's. Yeah.
I think they fight over it.
I think you might be right.
Maybe they each get one from the game.
Well, that doesn't make much sense.
We'll keep an eye on that game for you. Two and two, the count. That one is rolled foul off the bat of Herrera. In that Astros game in 2003 against the Yankees, Roy Oswalt, Pete Monroe, Kirk Saarloos, Brad Lidge, Octavio Dotel, and Billy Wagner. 6 pitchers, a record. That's a breaking ball that is low and inside. And the first combined no-hitter, June of 1917, Ernie Shore of the Boston Red Sox. Well, he came in relief for Babe Ruth, who was tossed for arguing after he walked the first batter of the game.
Come on.
He went the distance, the 2 of them, a no-hitter together. Babe, you're out. Fouled off.
I saw that. I was doing a game a couple of years ago in Texas. And the Angels at the time had a big right-handed starter, John Lackey.
Oh, sure.
And Ian Kinsler's leading off the game, and John Lackey throws the first pitch behind Ian Kinsler. As that one's hit into left field for a base hit. That'll give me time to finish this story, and I know everybody's on the edge of their seat for this one.
Head and hands.
Yes. And so throws the first pitch behind Ian Kinsler. First pitch of the game. It slipped. So he gets and the next pitch, he hits Ian Kinsler right in the ribs. Smokes. Bob Davidson, our friend that was arguing with Gibby a couple nights ago. Well, Bob Davidson was home plate umpire. 2 pitches into the game, John Lackey, you're gone. Wow. 2 pitches he lasted. That's 2 less than Babe Ruth, I'll bet.
Wow. That's awesome. I remember that game. I remember looking at the highlights when you're off on assignment. That one is up and into the seats it goes.
But that was the quickest I've ever seen somebody get thumbed. Uh-oh. Nice job.
Is that a contract?
I'm not sure. I think the ball touched the ground.
The 0-2. Good pitch to Cargo. Didn't chase. 1-2 the count. Now Carlos has grounded out on a little bunt out front of the catcher. Also to first. Walked and scored and single. Yeah, they want to talk about it. Why not get it right, right?
Okay.
His peers in the Players' Choice Award voted him the Major League Baseball and the National League Player of the Year. He finished 3rd in the MVP voting a season ago. Signed his first professional contract with the Diamondbacks back in August of 2002. In 2007, in the deal that sent Dan Herron from Oakland to Arizona, and then 1 year later traded with Houston Street and Greg Smith for Holiday, Matt Holiday from Oakland. Broke his bat. That one is down. Herrera out front. They will stop him at third. Runners on first and third of this 6-2 ball game. Carlos Gonzalez has a couple of hits in the game, and his last 4 games or so have been very good to him. As a matter of fact, his last 5 games, he's got 8 hits.
Well, talent eventually is going to come to the surface, and a fastball middle. His bat just explodes, but into center field it goes, and it's first and third Colorado Rockies, and Troy Tulowitzki, who is hitless on the night. He's 0 for 4. Flied out 3 times and bounced into a double play. So he's looking to get inside the candy store here. All these other guys are having all the fun offensively. I want some of that pie too. And he's going to fall behind on a breaking ball 0-1.
Flied to left, line to right, back out to left, and then rolled into a 4-6-3 double play. Off the plate. 1-1 the count. The next homer he hits will be number 100 in his career.
He went again.
1-2 the count to Troy Tulowitzki. Herrera. Cargo with Helton on deck. Breaking ball, protection swing, little flip, that'll do it. One more chance, 4 to tie it up. Gutierrez cleans things up after a couple of hits. Scene, APS Energy All-Star. Fabulous tonight. He continues to be a great story for these Colorado Rockies. When they do without, meaning the struggles of Ubaldo Jimenez, they've come to count on likes of Jorge De La Rosa and Yolis Chacin on track. Should it hold up for his 4th win of the year. And he has just been, simply put, fabulous tonight, as he has turned it over to the bullpen, and they're looking to sprint it to the finish line. Matt Reynolds still out there. Ryan Roberts leads it off. Breaking ball, that's a strike. Tough night for Troy Tulowitzki, and 0 for 5 out there this evening.
It's about the only thing not quite right in Colorado is one of their star players wearing a size 5 collar, but they're sitting with a comfortable lead right now as we speak, 6-2 here in the last of the ninth.
1-1 the count. You pointed out in the break, 2-1 the count about Tulowitzki. He had an amazing series at Citi Field in which he homered 4 times, in which he drove in 8 runs. Those 8 RBIs, about half his season total in that one series. Up the ladder. Athletic play, Ian Stewart. Fun to watch him play the hot corner.
Needing every bit of that 6'4" frame. He goes up the ladder and just snares it and robs Ryan Roberts. Doggone it. That's exactly what he said right there. Doggone it. Great play there by Ian Stewart. 1 away.
An athletic play. Here's Juan Miranda. That one bounces in there. They want to know if he went around. Well, sure he did, said Kerwin Danley.
Right at the peak, the apex, if you will, of his jump. And that's frustrating as a hitter. You're getting beat by 4 runs, your last chance at some glory, and you get robbed like that.
I tell you, Mr. Reynolds doesn't look any fun, especially for left-handed hitters.
Not at all. You watch him pitch as a former left-handed hitter, you say, man, I'd rather be sitting in the dentist chair.
For a filling or just a cleanup?
Cleanups aren't all that much fun either.
The 0-2. Breaking ball. And that one is rolled foul. Well, it was Yolis Chacin going 7 innings, giving up 3 hits, a pair of runs earned. His ERA after the outing for him came to an end, 2.85. Matt Belisle, now Matt Reynolds. 6'5", 240 for Jim Tracy and Bob Apodaca. Miranda with a drive to left field. Miranda knocks it out of here. Lefty on lefty. That is the first home run allowed this season by Matt Reynolds. Another $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
Juan Miranda, one of the 3 first basemen, trying to earn himself some playing time. Made a big base running gaffe earlier in the game, but atones for it here. Lefty on lefty, driving one, a fastball out over. Driving one about 390 feet away in left center field. That's a long, long ways to hit a baseball by a left-handed hitter. A couple rows deep. And a little something else to get excited about here at Chase Field tonight. 3 runs tonight, folks. Only 4 hits. 3 of those hits have been solo home runs from Diamondback hitters.
Kelly Johnson, Juan Miranda, and Barry Enright, the pitcher. That is just the second. This is Matt Reynolds' second season in the big leagues, and that is the second long ball he has allowed in total to a left-handed hitter. The other one last season when Chase Utley took him out of the ballpark. Otherwise, it's been, as we told you earlier, like a dentist chair for left-handed hitters. Lefties hitting 143 against him.
Like a root canal.
Mm-hmm. So, Juan Miranda, his second homer, part of that first base discussion that is ongoing.
And now all of a sudden Reynolds maybe just a slight little loss of composure for about 4 or 5 pitches. He falls behind 3-1. Now Houston Street dialing it up in the Colorado Rocky bullpen. Low strike.
As a matter of fact, before Miranda hit that homer, dating back to last season, left-handed hitters were 2 of their last 27 against Reynolds. 14 strikeouts.
Ball
inside.
4.
Well, now against lefties, a homer and a walk back-to-back.
And I would imagine that's going to be all for Mr. Reynolds. And it will be. Jim Tracy on his way, and it didn't take him long at all to stick that right paw out and call for his closer.
Tracy makes the call to the bullpen. Now Reynolds in his 2nd season in the big leagues. The man standing in first, Gerardo Parra, just the 2nd left-handed hitter he's ever walked in the major leagues.
Witnessing history here at Chase Field tonight, folks.
Don't go anywhere. Really. Houston Street goes to work. He faces Josh Wilson. Verizon call to the bullpen. He's perfect this year. Man out of Texas, University of Texas.
Not a hard thrower per se, but a guy that gives you a different look. He's kind of sidearm, and he all kinds of nonsense going on out on the mound. Moves all over the mound as he's pitching. Just tough to gauge.
Josh Wilson. Wilson, a third-round pick of the Marlins back in 1999. Again, we've told you, has grinded in the minor leagues for a long, long time. More than 1,000 games in the minor leagues. And he takes strike 1 from Houston Street, born in Austin, Texas. An A's first-round pick in 2004 out of the University of Texas. Got that back shoulder underneath the high breaking ball. And the play is made.
Boy, you called it, Darren. That was a hanging breaking ball that did absolutely nothing. And Josh Wilson going to be kicking himself for missing this one. Look, oh, baby. Yeah, much to his chagrin.
So now Melvin Mora Or 269 without a long ball this year. 7 batted in. On base of just 286. Runner will move up. Defensive indifference they just announced in the press box. No stolen base there. So if you're scoring at home, that's DI.
Go ahead and put a stolen base in there, folks.
Houston deals it into center field. Whether it's a stolen base or defensive indifference, it's still an RBI. And moving up and grabbing that extra bag sets up for Mr. Mora his 7th run batted into the year.
Yeah, go ahead and tell Mr. Reynolds that's his run that just scored. It's an earned run because of quote-unquote defensive indifference. Nice job there by Melvin Moore coming off the bench. And now the Battling D-backs have the tying run at the plate in Chris Young. He has 7 home runs and 21 RBIs. So don't go to bed yet, folks. Stay on up and have a little late night fun with me and Darren.
Hot shot, base hit, left field. Now one man from Austin, Texas, about to face another. In hard-hitting Kelly Johnson, who receives his assignment to face Houston Street. Well, you want to write an improbable story. Put this man a pen in his hand and let him do some damage, because he has struggled mightily, showing signs tonight of starting to turn the corner.
Houston Street threw a first pitch slider to Chris Young. Chris Young just smoked it.
Kelly has walked, fouled off some tough pitches in the 6th inning before doing that. Arizona this year trailed 5-0 in the middle of the 3rd in a game against Cincinnati. Down 5 and won it 10-8. Over the outside corner, 0-1 the count.
Perfect pitch there from Street.
Houston has given up 2 home runs this year.
A lot of room in the outfield because all 3 outfielders for the Rockies playing pretty much outside of the stadium. They're so deep.
Swing and a miss off speed, 0-2 the count.
And that was a changeup down and in that he pulled to the inside part of the plate. Johnson was out in front of him.
To the count. Kelly chases, another changeup down into the dirt, and the Diamondbacks come up empty. In the end, it was a 2-run deficit. Most of the evening, it felt like it was much larger than that, even though it ended up being down just by 2. This was a game the Rockies set the tone with 6 big runs in the 4th and the 5th, knocking Barry Enright out of the ball game. 6-4 the final score. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's do so with the post-game show. Todd and the birthday boy, Joe Borowski, ready to take things over. Post-game show brought to you by Quest right now.